After my father-in-law's funeral, my unemployed husband came into a $450 million inheritance. Out of nowhere, he told me he wanted a divorce, saying, "I don't need you anymore." I just laughed and said, "Don't come to regret this later." Once the divorce was finalized, my ex-husband was caught off guard when my father-in-law's attorney started laughing. Confused, he asked, "Are you serious?" The lawyer responded, "Did you even read the will properly?" My ex-husband's face went completely pale. My husband quit his job 3 years ago, right after we got married. Said he wanted to focus on startup ideas. Those ideas never went anywhere. I worked 50-hour weeks as a hospital administrator while he gamed and ordered takeout with my money. When his father got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, his dad called me directly. "Can you drive me to chemo Tuesday?" I asked my son, but he said he's busy with investor meetings. I knew there were no investor meetings, but I said yes. That first appointment, his father barely spoke. By the third, he opened up. "I built my company from a food truck, worked 90-hour weeks for a decade. I thought my son would inherit that drive." He paused. I was wrong. Every Tuesday and Thursday for 8 months, I drove him. We'd sit in those waiting rooms, him hooked to IVs, me reading him news because his eyes were too tired. My husband couldn't be bothered to visit. When I'd get home after 5-hour sessions, he'd ask, "Did you pick up dinner?" Not, "How's my dad?" Just, "Where's my food?" 4 months before he passed, a cancer spread to his lungs. He needed round-the-clock care and moved into our guest room. My husband complained about medical equipment in the hallway. He never once went in that room to sit with his dying father. I did everything. Changed bandages, gave medications at 2 a.m., helped him to the bathroom when he was too weak to walk. His father would grab my hand and just say, "Thank you." 2 weeks before he died, his father asked me to call the attorney. They met privately for an hour. When the lawyer left, my father-in-law smiled peacefully. "I took care of something important. You'll understand soon." He passed on a Monday morning. I was holding his hand. My husband was at the gym. At the funeral, my husband played the grieving son perfectly. Cried on cue, gave a touching eulogy about cherishing every moment with dad. I wanted to scream. 3 weeks later, the attorney called my husband about the estate. He came home grinning. $450 million, he said, pouring expensive whiskey. "We're set for life." "We?" I asked. He shrugged. "Well, technically it's my inheritance." The next morning, he handed me divorce papers over breakfast. "Good time for a fresh start. This marriage isn't working." He was offering me $100,000 as settlement. After 3 years of marriage and 8 months caring for his dying father, he thought that was generous. I looked up and laughed. Actually laughed. "What's so funny?" he demanded. "Nothing," I said, signing right there. "You'll find out soon." The divorce finalized in 6 weeks. 2 days later, we met at the attorney's office for the will reading. My ex-husband showed up in a designer suit reeking of cologne. The attorney began reading. Standard legal language. My ex-husband was bouncing in his seat. Then came the distribution. "To my son, I leave $1 million held in trust and distributed monthly, contingent upon maintaining full-time employment for 12 consecutive months." My ex-husband's smile faltered. "Wait, what?" "To my daughter-in-law, in recognition of her selfless dedication during my final days, I leave the remainder of my estate, including all properties, investments, and liquid assets, totaling approximately $449 million. Silence. My ex-husband stood so fast his chair fell. "That's impossible. I'm his son." The attorney pulled out a sealed letter. "Your father anticipated this." He read, "Son, if you're hearing this, you didn't visit me once in my final months. You let your wife carry the burden alone. You wanted my money, not my presence. The money goes to someone who actually cared whether I lived or died." My ex-husband's face went through shock, rage, panic. "This is fraud." He was on morphine. The attorney smiled. He had 3 independent psychiatric evaluations confirming mental competency. I also have timestamps of every text during his final 6 months. He continued without waiting. "Dad needs chemo ride. Your wife. I'll handle it." "You. Busy." "Dad's in pain. Your wife. Coming home now." "You. Can't. Meeting friends." "Dad wants to see you." No response at all. My ex-husband couldn't speak. "The $449 million transfers tomorrow," the attorney said to me. "Congratulations." I stood and said what his father told me to. "He gave you every chance to be a decent son. You chose gaming over his deathbed. This is on you." The money hit my account the next morning. All $449 million. My ex-husband tried contesting, but his text messages destroyed his case. The judge upheld everything. Last week, I saw him working at a car dealership. I was test driving a Mercedes, his dealership. He had to smile and hand me the keys. "How's the job search going?" I asked sweetly. He couldn't look me in the eye. "I bought the car, paid in cash.